It is now my deep pleasure to introduce our speaker and Alumna of the Year, Yasmin Hurd. Yasmin earned her bachelor's degree in biochemistry at Binghamton University and her doctorate in medical science at Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Sweden. A former researcher and staff fellow at the National Institutes of Health and its National Institute of Mental Health, she was also on the faculty of Karolinska Institute. She is currently a professor of psychiatry, neuroscience, and pharmacology and systems therapeutics, as well as the Ward Coleman Chair in Translational Neuroscience, and now director of the brand new Center for Addictive Disorders at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. An expert on addiction and related psychiatric disorders, Dr. Hurd explores risk factors of addiction disorders, including genetics and developmental exposures to drugs of abuse. As you can see, she has a beautiful mind. She has a heart as beautiful as her mind. She's a member of the Harpur College Advocacy Council and a friend to many of our students who have interned in her lab, asked her questions, and benefited from her generosity. Please help me welcome to the podium Dr. Yasmin Hurd.
Thank you, Dean McCall, the President, Provost, graduates, and your family and friends. I'm truly honored to be able to participate in the commencement ceremony on your big day. It's quite shocking to think that over 30 years have passed since I was sitting in your shoes, celebrating graduation with my friends, and now I stand on the other side of the podium. It's really surreal. One day you'll be here, I'm sure. Although I'm a scientist with a general understanding of physics related to the linear flow of time, as I said, I can't fathom that so many years have passed since I left Binghamton as a student. If it weren't for seeing like my nephews and children who are close to me grow up and become adults, I actually would still be under the illusion that I'm in my 20s. So my first lesson to you is, don't have kids and you won't age. I must confess to actually not remembering much of commencement, my friends will tell you, except for the big group hugs that I had with my friends and the trace of anxiety that my life was about to change in a dramatic way. It was no longer going to be into the protected environment that Binghamton had allowed me and my friends to live in, our bubble for 4 years. Looking back, though, it's clear that my time at Binghamton prepared me for so many things that I, of course, didn't realize then, but I actually want to pass on a few of those things to you today. As many people have impressed on you already, today is really the beginning of your life, or at least adult life. Unfortunately, nothing is really given to you. You have to go get it. And I'm sure many of you ask, what does that really mean? One thing that I've learned is that we all have a unique path in life, and you should not compare yourself to anyone else. They're not on the same road as you. I know easier said than done when your family and parents are saying, you know, your older sibling is doing this and the cousins are doing that, and what are you going to do now in your life? You already have a great foundation by having the degree from Binghamton University that you're obtaining today. It's going to allow you to have multiple opportunities. In fact, it's going to allow you to make more money than the majority of people in this country. It's, however, up to you to get out of your comfort zone. You will never figure out who you are, what role you're meant to play on this planet, or what really makes you happy if you never venture outside that comfort zone and find your own path. The lesson I've learned is that success requires you to be bold. It's definitely scary, but it's supposed to be. It is never easy. I'm not going to say that. It's never easy. Being different was not easy. I've always been different, especially being a young girl, I should say a young black girl, obviously, coming from Jamaica who liked science, which made it difficult to put me in a particular box. It took a while, though, to realize that it's fine to be different. You do not have to fit in. Indeed, you can never find yourself or be successful by being one of the masses. So embrace being different. Lesson, be visible in your difference. Do not try to blend in, no matter what career path you choose. Aim at being visible. I actually don't know why I chose, if one could say it's a choice, to being different from what society expected me to be. My mother never wanted to be pigeonholed into a particular box, and I guess her hard work and trying to challenge stereotypes was a really great role model for me. Also, some asked, why are you here on this planet? And my answer then, and actually my answer still now, is as simple. I wanted to know how the brain worked. Pretty easy thing, right? I have frequently said that I was a weird child. I was actually reminded by a childhood friend from Jamaica that I used to tell all the other kids back then that I wanted to know what was wrong with this person or that person's brain to make them behave in a certain manner. So yes, I was strange. I did not come from a family of scientists or physicians. I had actually no clue about brain science or that it could even be a career, yet I was drawn to this unusual field. Binghamton really allowed me to be different and to explore my questions. They allowed me to integrate my interests in biochemistry and behavior to create a completely new major, which years later became what we know now as the field of neuroscience. I clearly didn't... Woo! I clearly didn't know back then that I was creating something new that would evolve into this new field, so go get them, neuroscientists. I am really happy that the Binghamton administrators, they didn't say no to my wanting to make up a completely different new major and embrace my being different. So lesson, follow your interests no matter how strange or improbable combinations might seem. I know one thing for sure, that I'm also here today because of some outstanding professors at Binghamton, particularly for me, Professor Peter Donovic in the psychology department, who set the foundation for my success. He made it possible for me, an annoyingly inquisitive student working part-time in the animal vivarium, to instead get paid through work study, to do research in his lab so that she could try to answer some of the questions that she kept asking. Peter Donovic challenged me. He was never easy on me, never, because he expected more of me. He supported me unconditionally, having my back 100%. He cared for me as he would his children. He believed in me since he knew I had something to offer, even if I didn't realize it then. And he was proud of me. All of that support gave me confidence. I thank him for giving me that opportunity to succeed. I hope that I've paid him back by living up to the lofty goals he set. So lesson, find mentors who believe in you, who are honest, who are willing to support you, not by giving you everything, but by making sure that they challenge you. Another key part to my success is actually the liberal arts environment at Binghamton that exposed me to various types of people with different interests and who have been lifelong friends. Indeed, 4 of my friends came with me this weekend. Amy Lorowitz, who's my living memory since every single thing we did or wore in college. Who remembers that? She does. Stephen Schreiber, amazing guy who she married not long after. So yes, you can find a wonderful lifelong mate at Binghamton, so look around you, it's not too late. Amy Schraub, my creative friend who embraces different. And Joanne Figbaum, now Bennett, who reminds me you never know where a friendship might start. Indeed, my friendship with Joanne started our first day on campus at Endicott Hall. Where's Endicott? Yeah, we bonded over not being happy that the only beverage being offered was a keg of beer. Clearly, the drinking laws back then were quite lax. Later on, it was apparent that our initial non-beer bonding did not actually have a common basis at all, as I had thought. because my not liking beer was because I'd never drank alcohol before coming to college, whereas Joanne was hoping for vodka. So yes, we're all different. We've taken completely different paths in life: MBA, graphic designer, actor, nurse, lawyers, the gamut. We've learned a lot from each other. The unconditional love and support is undeniable. They show up no matter where I am in this world, for the good and the bad. So lesson: find friends who love to travel. Choose friends who support you even if they never liked science or fully understood the career path you chose. My lifelong friends, I love you. Even close friends from my years living in Sweden are due to Binghamton, actually. The first night in my evening Swedish course, a young woman and I scanning the room realized quite incredulously that we knew each other. It turned out that we had lived in Delaware Hall. Delaware! I was an RA in Delaware and she was a freshman on another floor. Her sister, who lived in Stockholm, introduced me to opened up my social life there. So the lesson is, you can't escape Binghamton alums. They span the globe. So be nice to everyone, no matter where you are in the world. So in closing, I want to remind you of the honor and responsibility you have in being a Binghamton grad. You actually have a lot of power to make big and small changes that can significantly impact our society. So give back. No matter what, be part of your community, locally or globally, as they say. We are clearly at a crossroads in this country and seeing third world conditions for people in our society. Though we are one of the richest and most creative countries on the planet, it's still inconceivable to me that we have citizens that still have such poor education with limited English and math skills. One thing I've learned from my non-science courses at Binghamton is that history provides a strong blueprint for the future that unfortunately often gets ignored and are repeated time and time again. So superpowers of their time perish due to greed and the disregard of disparities in the needs of all their citizens. So lesson: use your education to improve opportunities for everyone. It actually enhances your own success. So my final overall lesson is, your time at Binghamton might have been relatively short, but the experiences you've had, the education you've received, and the friendships that you've made will last a lifetime. Congratulations. Enjoy the places that you'll go, and remember, make your own path. Thank you.